Hello people! This time we're going to be doing a set I'm calling Just Peachy. This is a new addition to my fruity collection. I'm starting off with some prepped medium length coffin tips. We're going to start off with this Makartt polish. This particular polish came in a mermaid kind of collection of stuff from Makartt that I got a good while back. And I have not had a lot of chance to use most of these colors. And then we're using two different shades of the peachy color. This will be the darker one of the two. And I'm going to do kind of we're going to have a negative space in the middle of a couple of the nails. So we're just putting this one at the top in kind of a swooshy pattern there. This one is going to be an ombre, so we're just going to put the darker peach at the top of that. This is going to be another negative space one, and we will go with the swooshy thing on here again. I think that one got a little bit too far down, but oh well. We're just going to go with it. And the thumb will also be an ombre, so we go with the dark at the top of there. And now I'm going to go in with the lighter of the two. And we're going to do the little swooshy thing kind of at the bottom. And just put the light on the bottom of there. And we'll do the same on the other one. And in the bottom of the ombre nails, we'll get the lighter of the two. And don't forget to cap the ends. Now when I start off, we're going to cure this. Oh wait, no, we're not going to cure this yet. We got to do the ombre. Now I started off on the ombre with my new ombre brush, and it was really too stiff and it was just making a mess. I didn't like it. Plus the ombre bristles there were too many. It didn't have much spacing in it. So I have since then taken that brush and trimmed it up and made it a little better. This, what you see me using, is my old one that has the bristles all shooting out in every direction now. It's all crazy looking. But we're just going to go ahead and give this an ombre. We're just going to flick back and forth a bunch of times. And then now they have been cured. And that's the only ombre I'm going to show because you guys have seen me do this a bunch of times. But we're going in with the second coat now. You may get to see me do the second coat on the ombre. But we're just getting the second coat on the rest of this. I don't remember if I left the ombre stuff in or not on this, so we'll see. Now you'll notice they don't look that great right now because the first coat of ombre never does come out all that great. Now there's a different ombre method that I've been seeing a lot lately that I haven't tried yet, so maybe on the next ombre I'll try that out. It involves acrylic powder. So I haven't done that yet, but next time I do an ombre maybe I'll try that and we'll see how it goes. And on the bottom of the other one, okay, and then we got to get the ombres on done, and then they'll be ready for curing. And let's see, yes, I guess I am going to show this part. Okay, and we're just going to flick back and forth across the thing. Now you may see me flip my brush over Sometimes I do there. See, I flipped it over so the part with the darker polish is now at the bottom and the lighter one at the top. FYI, I have sped this up in case you couldn't tell, but yeah, you really do kind of go quickly with it. Wipe off excess. When it gets too much polish gets on your brush built up, you just wipe it off. Sometimes I'll go bottom to top. Sometimes I'll flip it, do top to bottom. And we'll just keep fiddling with it till we're happy. Bearing in mind that this is going to have a matte top coat at the end, so that will help soften it and make the ombre look a lot better. And on to the thumb, where we're going to do the same exact thing. Flip the brush. Keep on going. Basically, you just want to keep flipping it around and flicking your brush back and forth through there until you get a nice blend and you're happy with the blend. And then what you want to do, ideally, is let it sit for, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute out, just to let the polish smooth itself out again after you've got the ridges in there. And those have now been cured, and now we're going to move on. This is a little packet of glitters. The glitter mixes came from AliExpress. That one that's kind of got peachy looking colors, actually what they are, there's gold, silver, a little bit of a kind of mauvey pink, and some blue in there, which I did not use the blue. But we're going to take base coat now, and I'm just going to put it in that negative space. I'm not putting it over the whole nail, because right at this moment that nail is going to have a dip there where the negative space is, because there's 2 layers of polish on the other part of it. So in order to get this to come out semi-level, I'm only putting this base right now in that blank spot. And then I'm going to proceed putting those little glitter dots in there. Now these things did lay down really nicely for me, so I didn't have to do the usual, you know, heavy base, couple layers of top, file and buff, and then go on. It laid down nicely, so I just did, I believe I just did 1 layer of base coat over the whole thing when I was done, and then we moved on to top coat. I'm just going to keep putting these dots in here till I fill that space up. I'm not using any of the blue ones, like I said, but I will use the other 3 colors. I started off only using the gold and the pink, but then I needed some little tiny ones for some spots, and then I ended up using a couple of silver ones in there just to fill it out, because other than the silver, the only little tiny ones I saw were the little pink ones. And I was having trouble finding some more in there. And I didn't really want to dump the whole thing of glitter out and look for them. Yeah, we just need some little dudes in there to fill that out, which I'm going to look for. Now, this is when I was just using the pink. I hadn't used silver yet. Later on, I started throwing those silver ones in there, too. Now I got a big wad of those things stuck on my picker-upper. I've had these dots, all these glitter dots, for probably at least 1.5 years now, and I don't think this is the first time I think I've used them for anything. They were probably another item from one of my late night shopping sprees that I did on Ali. Okay, then that, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to do the rest of them off camera, and then I'm going to cure that. Okay, that's where we are now. And now I'm going to go over just those with the dots on, with a layer of base coat over the whole entire nail. That should help smooth the levels out so they're even, or closer to even. And then we're going to go back with the same Makartt color that I used on the pinky nail. It's a shimmery kind of corally peach color. Detailer brush. And I'm going to take those same nails that we were just working on with the dots in them. And all I'm going to do is paint like a swoosh of this stuff along the edge of the negative space part to even that up and neaten it up. Also, I wanted to use this color somewhere else to tie in that pinky nail. In the end, this part didn't show up all that well on the finished nails, but I know it's on there and I liked it, so there we go. Okay, I think I'm good with that. I don't remember if I showed doing the other one or not. Let's see. And my glove is caught underneath there again. That is so aggravating for me. Okay, I guess you are going to see this other one. Now we're just going to do the exact same thing on here. The other ones for the other hand, I'm pretty sure I did those off camera, so you won't have to sit through another one again. It occurs to me now as I'm watching this, I could have gotten my gold glitter polish and done those stripes. That would have shown up better. And then it would have gone with those gold dots, but oh well, we did. It is what it is now. Okay, now those are all cured. We're moving on to the stickers. This is the Peachy set of stickers that came in that pack of fruity stickers that I got last year off Amazon. There was, I think, either 10 or 12 different fruits sheets of stuff in the pack, and I think it was like 7 something for all of them. That we're just going to carry on putting these stickers on here. I did have a little trouble getting these off of the sheet on some of them. Some of them wanted to kind of like bunch up under there. And I'm fishing around now looking for my silicone tool. I can smooth that out better. There, see, that one had a little sticking up part. Okay, moving on. Now these are tacky still because I just had the base coat on, and that's been, even though it's cured, it's going to have a tacky layer. I'm going with a peach blossom on the side of there. And a little tiny peach at the bottom. Moving on to the middle finger, where we're just going to put some more on. I tried to stick with more of the peachy colored ones rather than the pink ones. And I wanted to go with the more realistic-y looking ones rather than the cartoony ones too. I'll save the cartoony ones for another day. Frankly, that one right there at the bottom of the sheet that's pink with a little face on it does not look like a peach to me. It looks like a Hershey's Kiss for Valentine's Day or something. Now you'll notice I'm not going way up to the top because I'm going to be putting a cuff on that of embellishments, pearls actually. And I'm just going to decide what I want. Whoops. Now see, that one just ripped right off the bat. I don't usually have that happen, so we have to get another one. I think because it touched on there and that one has a tacky layer, it just held on to it really well. So if you're placing stickers over a tacky layer like that, just make sure you get them where you want them right away, because it doesn't want to come back off very easily. It's kind of working like with the foil glue. Once you stick it on there, it's on there. Okay, I'm just deciding what I want to do. And believe it or not, I sped this section up a bit. So I've been sitting there deciding for a while what I wanted to put on there. Okay, and I think this is the last one. I'm going to show the stickers going on. A little pinky nail, where we're just going to put a little tiny guy at the bottom. And this guy did not want to cooperate very well either. Okay, now we're good with those. I'll do the other hand off camera. There's where we are so far. Okay, now we're going to be ready to go in with a no wipe top coat. The reason I'm doing this, even though they're going to be matte, is because I want the stickers to be sealed in there really well. And the matte top always feels a little soft to me, like you could, you know, like it doesn't want to, it's just not as heavy duty. So I like to go over my stickers with the regular top first, and then I'll put matte on top of that. This way I know they're sealed in really well, and there's not going to be anything peeling up and coming off of there. Okay, that'll get cured. That's what they would look like if you left them shiny. Now we're going to go in with the matte top. I'm not giving you the brands of these. This particular one I really don't like, and I'm just trying to use it up, so I'm not going to go into that one. But I did spring for some matte top that's Model 1s, which is probably one of the more expensive polishes I've bought so far. So I haven't started using it yet. Like I said, I'm trying to use this up. And what prompted me to get that is this one, if you're using this over a white polish, it tends to kind of turn yellow and make the polish not look nice and white anymore. Okay, anyway, that's been cured. Now we're going to move on to embellishments. We got our gem glue. And we got these things. I never know what to call these. They're like a half pearl with a gold ring around them. Then I got these little hearts that have AB on top. I will go into more about those later, because those were a problem. Then I've got this variety of pearls, which I'm going to use those. I didn't use the orangey ones. I kept the coral ones. Initially, I was going to do every other one, but I didn't like the color. I didn't like the way the other ones looked. And rose gold caviar beads. All of that stuff came from AliExpress. Okay, now, see how much nicer the ombre looks now you put the matte top on there? It's a really nice fade. Okay, we're just going to go in. I'm just doing a simple cuff on top of this and on one of the other ones on that hand. I'm going to go in with the gem glue. And then we're going to go in the middle with one of those gold rimmed beads. I don't know what these things are called, but I was trying to decide which ones to use because I needed two of the same color, and the shades vary on them slightly. So we'll start with that. And you'll notice I'm not wearing gloves now. This was the next day when I came in to finish these up. Now I'm going to only use those peachy or coral colored pearls. They look really bright when you see them in there, but once you get them out of there and you put them on, the color softens quite a lot. I'm just going to go with those along both sides till I end up with an even amount, and hopefully that big one's in the middle. We're just going to place these guys on here. And then I decided it needs one more. Okay, I'm going to straighten them out somewhat, but they're going to get moved around a little because we're going to be putting caviar beads on as I normally do. I thought this was a good opportunity for me to use those rose gold ones since I've never used those before. And I'm getting my brush out of my drawer right there. That's why you see everything shaking. Getting some glue. We got to get glue on where we're going to put the caviar beads because there was none squishing out. One thing I've noticed too is if I get really, really fine, light bits of glue on here, if I don't get the stuff on there right away, I'm guessing it's because my lamp is LED, the overhead light I'm working with, that sometimes it dries them out. See, even though the glue has to be cured, the lamp sometimes will do it if there's a teeny tiny little bit and not a big blob of it. Now I'm putting the caviar beads in the usual place that I put them, in between each of the pearls on both sides and one at the end, kind of cap it off. I did decide to go ahead and put like a row of caviar beads around the bottom half of the that middle bead there that has the gold around it. If anybody knows where I can get caviar beads like in bigger bunches than in these little wheel things, please let me know in the comments. Especially, I'd really like to stock up on the silver ones because I go through those things like crazy. And all I can ever find when I look online for them is these dumb little wheels where I need a whole jar just of silver ones. And of course, there's the requisite hair that we got to get out every time. Now you just want to get these on here at this point so that they're in the vicinity of where you want them to be. At least that's how I do it, and it doesn't want to stick. See, this might be an instance of the glue's already dry there now. We're going to give it a go anyway. Well, it's on there now, okay. And then I'll just carry on. I just try to get these in the general vicinity of where I want them. And then at the end, I'll go back and move everything around and position it exactly where I want it to go. I can't remember if I sped this section up to 1.5 times or if I left it at real speed. But this kind of stuff here, it's not hard to do. It's easy to do. It just takes time and patience. Because there's a lot of, now see, I'm putting glue around there because that's when I decided I needed to have the caviar beads just go around that bottom of that. Definitely though, if you're going to be doing this and you haven't done it before, definitely get yourself some gem glue that needs curing, and then get all your placement on, because that allows you to move things around, because things will shift on you while you're putting stuff on. That way you can move everything where you want it and then cure it into place, and everything will be good. If you use like just regular nail glue and you put stuff on one by one, I mean, it's going to dry on you real quick, and once it's on there, you can't move it again. So if you change your mind, you're screwed. Or, you know, if your placement's off, you can't move them. So that's why I like the gem glue. I used to use a glue resin stuff for Me a Secret, but because it works like nail glue, but it doesn't dry right away, so you could have time to move things around a little. But I was noticing it was not drying underneath the, like say underneath these pearls, for instance, it wouldn't dry underneath there. It would dry around the edges, but not underneath. So if any of the pearls came off, you would have wet, gluey stuff under there. So that's partly why I stopped using that, and finally got myself some gem glue, and it was well worth it. See, now I'm just going to tuck all those little caviar beads in nicely where I want them to be, and I can move the stuff around until I'm happy with it. Nope. There we go. Yeah, some of those were sticking out a little on that side. Okay, now I think I'm going to be happy, and that's ready to go in for a cure. And now we're going to move on to, okay, now these are those little hearts I showed you, the little AB hearts. I'm just going to put one on here. Now what I found out was at the end of this, when I went through with some alcohol on a lint-free wipe and I was cleaning off the waxy stuff on the top of those little hearts, that all the AB stuff came off with the alcohol. So in the future, I would recommend not putting those on with one of the waxy pickup things. Just get a tweezers and lay them on there, because once the AB stuff came off, it completely lost its shine. And you'll notice in the final picture, it's one of the pinky nails where that little heart is on there, but you can't really see it because the shine is all gone. And I didn't feel like pulling it back off at the time. If that set sells, then I will fix that before I send it out. But anyway, on this one, this is the middle finger. I'm just doing the pearls on this one. I'm not putting the big bead in the middle. Now I believe on this one I had 6 of them. On the second one I did 7 because I thought that it needed more. And then we're going to go back in with caviar beads on here, just like we did on the thumb. This one did have a little bit of glue squooshing out, so that saved me a little bit of stuff. But you'll notice I'm just getting them on there in the vicinity of where I want them. They don't have to be perfectly placed just yet. And I think there's no more glue squishing out. That's why they don't want to come off. And yes, I'm going to put more glue now on the places where there wasn't any. And if that's all the caviar beads, which I think that was it, then I'm going to go and tuck all those guys in neatly and move everything to where I want it. Now I like to get them right to the very edge of there, because when you're wearing them on your hand, you would want it to be that way. Unfortunately for me to shoot my photo, I can't use my fake hand for those when I do that, because it doesn't tuck up underneath the cuticle to stay on the finger, and then it looks weird. So in case you're wondering why some of my pictures are like the whole, like the whole set, and some are just the ones done on the hand. That's the reason why. Also, I can't put the really large ones on my hand because they don't fit either. Okay, I'm just going to put one of those little hearts on there, and that is way too much glue. You definitely don't need that much. And I'm still using the picker-upper because I hadn't realized at that point what was going to happen with those. Okay, and I think that's all we're going to do on there. There's what we got. And those are going to go in and get cured. I'll do the other hand off camera. And now we're going to go in with a final layer of top coat. This is the matte top. I'm just going to go butt up against the embellishments up there just to cover up any gluey mess that I might have slopped on there. I was tempted to go over those pearls and those caviar beads with the layer of no wipe top just to give them a better finish, you know, more protection and help hold them on, because I know for a fact that those pearls don't hold up real well under a lot of wear and tear. The finish will wear off, and then you'll just have like a white plastic thing showing through, which doesn't look nice. But I didn't do it because I was afraid of slopping it onto the other part. And most likely nobody's going to be wearing this set anyway, because unless it sells, and then in which case I'll fix it. But anyway, okay, here we go. Those are done. We're going to cure that. And bam, there they are, finished set. I hope you like them. I hope everything's better than just peachy for you guys. If you liked them, give me a like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I post new sets every Saturday. Thank you so much for watching.